Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like. Subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road, so stay tuned and thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome to What If Deku Had the Rinnegan Part 2. Let's get into the story. So, where we left off with it, Deku has just repelled the villain, the sludge villain, off of Bakugo with his almighty push, or later known as Shinra Tensei. And Deku didn't know what he did. He didn't have no familiarization with what he did. He didn't even have any knowledge of what he did. He was just off of base thought. That's all Deku was off of. And he used that thought to save his friend. As he did this, the sludge villain was blown away. Bakugo had to place his footing. He had to get his stance because the shockwave that Deku emitted from the repulsive push, it was so strong that Bakugo had to get his placing. And he says, "This loser has this kind of power. How? He doesn't even have a quirk. It must be those eyes. What kind of power do you have, Deku?" And Deku goes to say, "What did I just do?" Because when he did the almighty push, it kind of pushed Deku back a little bit, making him fall on his back because he wasn't used to the power or the output of the power coming from his body. And when he did this, all the heroes, the pro heroes, were shocked. Even All Might, who was in his small might form, he was shocked. He says, well, he wasn't that shocked. He says, yes, he can become a very good hero. He can become a powerful hero in the future. Because just with those eyes, I don't even think it's enough to help him with the battles that he's going to face. I can shape him into a fine hero. And All Might goes to say this. He goes to say this. I have to talk to this kid. He just giving me hope. And after all the people talked to Deku, there was no scolding as everyone was actually shocked. And there was a bunch of heroes actually telling Deku, "Hey kid, you should come to my agency. Yeah, you should come to my agency, kid. Yeah, this would be very fun for you to come to my agency. Yeah, because I have very good things I could teach you. I could kindly teach you about becoming a hero." As Deku says, yeah, it sounds interesting because he wasn't used to all this people gathering around him, and he didn't even, first of all, Deku didn't even know he could do this, but he was just off of pure thought because his body just moved on its own. And as all the commotion is going down, the sludge villain is arrested. Deku goes to walk home, few minutes after, not a few minutes after, while Bakugo just come out of nowhere and stops Deku and says, "Hey, Deku!" And Deku just turns around and looks at Bakugo and says, "Oh, hey, Kachan." And Bakugo goes to tell Deku, "I didn't need a quirkless loser like you to save me. I didn't need your help. I could have freed myself." And Deku, he goes to say, well, why didn't you? I mean, it would have saved some time. Why were you looking so helpless? And Bakugo's eyes just go wide and he says, "What did you say?" And he says, "I'm not trying to start an argument, Bakugo. I'm just saying, why didn't you kindly free yourself?" And with this, Bakugo goes to admit it. He says, "I couldn't." All he says is, "Anyway, thank you." And to Deku's surprising, he was shocked because he didn't expect Bakugo to even confront him or even acknowledge to what he did. Bakugo known he was helpless in that fight. He knew he couldn't do anything, as Bakugo's explosions weren't doing much to free him, as the sludge villain was going to invade his body if Deku didn't get there in time. And All Might couldn't have did nothing due to the fact that he has an injury. Of course, Deku doesn't know about this, but due to the fact that he has an injury, he's here on a time limit, so he couldn't have been in his buff form to even attempt to save Bakugo. But when he seen Deku do what he did, he was encouraged. He was motivated, but he couldn't. As All Might was about to save Bakugo from the sludge villain, Deku jumped forward and did it. He yelled out, "Almighty push," and saved Bakugo. And Bakugo just turns around and says, "Thank you. Anyway, bye, loser." And Bakugo just walks away. And With that, with that, Deku continues his walk home, and he says, "I wonder if I can become a hero with the eyes that I have. I wonder if I can become strong, if I can live up to the dreams. I don't think my power could be enough. I don't even think I have power. All I know is I got these eyes and this so-called chakra in my body. I don't even know how to use it." And then, as Deku was talking in his head, All Might came out of nowhere, scaring the literal shit out of Deku. And Deku was just screaming, saying, "Oh, All Might, where did you come from?" And All Might was just yelling, "Oh, ha, 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 young Midori." Well, not young man. He said, "Young man." Ah, he. Okay. So All Might was starting to try, like, say a sentence, but then he spit out blood due to the fact that he could not sustain his buff form for too long. And Deku seeing this, he's like, "All Might, what happened to you?" Well, he goes to look at All Might, squinting his eyes. "Why are you so skinny?" And All Might says, Young man, I have a condition. I had a very battle with this one guy called Pain, and this one guy called All for One. I've beaten them both, but they still live and walk the earth till this day, plotting their revenge on me." And Deku goes to say, "So, what do you mean plotting their revenge?" "Well, in this world, I am the symbol of peace, and they aim to take me down. They aim to put me in the dirt. So, I've done what I can to make do to what I can do, but I've suffered a very substantial injury. Well, not substantial, but a very gruesome injury due to the fact that the battles that I fought." And Deku goes to say, "What injury have you sustained, All Might?" And All Might goes to lift up his shirt and says, "This injury came from All for One." And then he turns around and shows Deku another injury, and he says, "This injury came from Pains." And he says, "Pain?" He says, "I don't know the guy's name. All I know is he goes by this name, Pain." And he instantly wants to take down the symbol of peace and create his own version of peace and justice. And Deku goes to say, "So is people out there stronger than you?" And All Might goes to say, "While his visual prowess were extraordinary, I wanted to say, I couldn't necessarily fight him like I wanted to. But I ended up beating both of them with my chakra abilities and my chakra enhancing abilities. And my quirk, young Midoriya. The truth behind me with my power is that I wasn't born with the quirk. I was quirkless. My master gave me this quirk along with the one gifted ability that I had chakra in my body, and that I could somehow master this chakra and enhance my quirk to its full capabilities. Well, not to its full capabilities, but make it even more powerful than it already is." And as you hear this rustling in the like wind, and then you just see Deku's mother just come out of nowhere. And she instantly hits Deku upside the head, like punches him in the head and says, "Where are you? I told you to be home. You have training to do, young man." And she says, and Deku just goes out and says, "Ow, what did you do that for?" Looking at his mother. And he instantly looks in his mother's eyes and he says, "Mom, your eyes, they're red." And she goes to say, "Yeah, I know they are." And she blinks, and then her eyes go back to normal. And Deku goes to say, "What was that, Mom?" And she says, "I'll explain it to you later." And she looks and sees All Might. Well, she doesn't know. She says, "Who's this pervert?" And All Might strains himself again and buffs up until his form, and she says, "Oh, it's you. Oh, I'm so sorry, All Might. I didn't mean to call you a pervert. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that to you." And he says, "Miss, you don't have to hide it. I know you have the Sharingan. You could have sensed and told it was me. You didn't have to call me a pervert." And Deku says the Sharingan, and his mother says, "Yeah, I wanted to tell him later, All Might. Anyway, yes, Izuku, I possess the Sharingan." Deku asks, "What's the Sharingan?" And his mother just says, "I'll explain it to you later. Just knows that it gives me impressive abilities, and I've even mastered my Sharingan abilities all the way to the three Tomoe, and I also have my brother's eyes in me, so I have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. So I'm very skilled. I'm not just some average mother who sits on her ass, Izuku. I've been training and training, and your training is going to start very soon." And this is where All Might intervenes. He says, "Well, I want to turn your son into an extraordinary hero." And All Might says, "Can we talk somewhere more silent?" And Izuku and his mother says, "Well," he said, All Might just goes to say, "Please," before she had time to deny, "Please." And All Might, Izuku, and his mother, they all go towards the beach, and All Might explains everything to Izuku's mother and Deku, and he listens to them and tells them all about his quirk, all about All for One, all about Pains, all about um, all about Madara Uchiha, all about Kaguya. He tells them about all this specific stuff coming to fruition, coming to the past, coming to now, and basically a threat coming to the near future as All Might's explaining this. And All Might's telling Izuku's mom that I want to train him so that he can become a very strong hero. And that's entirely what Izuku's mother agrees with. She agrees with the idea to turn her son into a great hero because she has nothing but bad memories of the Rinnegan due to the fact that she was a part of the third, well, not the third, she was a part of, yes, okay, let's say, she was a part of the third, like the third hero war. Put it like this. I'm not going to say ninja war. She was a part of the third hero war. And she suffered some losses. Her brother died, and she had to use his eyes to gain new power, new sight, and everything. So she suffered some tragedies. She lost some friends in that battle and everything, and she's only seen like very horrific memories of the Rinnegan, and she wants to steer her son away from those as far as possible. So she agrees with All Might, and All Might says the course of training will take 10 months. It will begin in 10 months. And as their training starts, Izuku's mom is not playing around as her, All Might, and Izuku, all of them are training with each other, and All Might and his mom, well, no, All Might and Izuku's mother, Hashi, I think that's her name. Tell me in the comments if I'm pronouncing her name right. But Hashi, her, and All Might are just training Izuku, telling him about his specific natures and everything, telling him about the chakra natures and all that kind of stuff, and even explaining him the 6 paths that he control. Also, while she was explaining this, Izuku then did something. His eyes reverted to a blue Rinnegan. He reverted to a blue Rinnegan, and the reason why being this because Izuku basically denied the paths that he didn't find the use for. And those paths being the animal path and the Ashura path. Izuku did this basically to enhance his other paths to make them stronger in the 5 month, and this is at the 5 month mark. Izuku already knows about all the chakra natures, how to enhance his chakra, what he finds useful, what he likes to use in his arsenal and everything. And he basically tried the animal path, he basically tried the Ashura path, and he basically said that these techniques doesn't have any use for him, seeming as if All Might and his mother was able to push past them. Not only was All Might able to dismantle and destroy the animal path that Izuku had displayed, he was also able to push past his Ashura path. And Deku says, this really doesn't have any use for me because these weaponized mechanics, turning my body into a weapon, is basically useless if per se the opponent that I'm facing can get past it. And All Might says, well, you can make it strong, Izuku, Midori. And his mother wasn't showing him any mercy with this. She was telling Izuku to come at her with his full power, his full intent. Like come at me with the intent to kill, Izuku. Like she said as her eyes turned into the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. And Izuku was firing missiles at his mother, firing missiles back to back at his mother, but she was dodging them left to right. And she instantly out of Izuku's vision and instantly was in his face and punched him in the stomach with a thunderous blow, sending Izuku to the ground, coughing up spit. And this is why Izuku basically denied the animal path and the osteopath, because it was useless to him in a battle, because it would leave him open, and it was so easy for his mother and All Might to get past his defenses like that. Even if he was to use Almighty Push or all Shinra Tensei, as you say, it wouldn't work as well as it did, because he, say for example, okay, Deku, when he in this series, he can only use, like, say for example, two moves at best. So say for example, if you use Shinra Tensei against All Might and his mother, so it's All Might. All Might is one of the chakra enhancers. He can use chakra to enhance his physical attributes, his skill, and his one for all quirk. And overall, say for example, so Deku, this is what Deku did. He said, Almighty pull, and pulled his mother in, and he had a knife extending out, saying that, oh, so this could be a killing blow. And his mother said, yeah, you think. And she instantly had the Susanoo surrounded around her as Deku pierced the Susanoo armor, and he said, what is that? And she instantly just throws a punch that was coming down towards Deku as Deku flinched, and it didn't do nothing. It dissipated, and she says to Deku, she just goes on to his face and she kneels to Deku and says, "You know, Izuku, that osteopath is quite weak. It can leave you very open to defense. I don't think anybody would fall for it, let alone getting your field of pull. I think somebody would definitely be able to counterattack the osteopath and your diva path." And Deku says, "You're right, Mom, they can." That's why Deku instantly got rid of the osteopath and the outer path. I don't know if that's a good explanation for you guys, because this is my explanation for it. I got rid of the osteopath and the animal path is because I want to enhance Deku's physical attributes. I didn't want to give him those two moves, even though they're steamingly OP. I wanted to just erase those two moves out of the book. So say for example, he decided to just rid himself of those two paths and further his Rinnegan abilities. So what he did was increase his diva path and increase his other attributes, even the outer path, the Naraka path, and stuff like that, creating chakra receivers and all that kind of stuff. He can still do that. So Deku instantly was, his eyes went from a purple Rinnegan glow to a blue Rinnegan glow. And as the 10 months training is going on per se, Deku and his mother had one-on-one spar sessions. All Might and Deku had one-on-one spar sessions, fights. Deku and All Might had one-on-one fights and everything to see where all Deku was getting at. And at this time, it was like at the 9-month mark and everything. And Deku had the All for One in his system. So he's been practicing with the All for One because All Might gave it to him early, knowing that his body would be able to hold it, doing that Deku had impressive muscle mass. I mean, his muscle mass was quite big. It wasn't as big. It was bigger than what it was in the anime. So the abilities that Deku possesses in this What If is the Diva Path, the Preta Path, which allows him to absorb chakra, and the Outer Path, and the Noraraka Path. Those are the only ones that he possesses in this anime. And while I did exclude Deku from having the osteopath and the animal path, the pain in this video still has all six powers. He still has all six powers when Deku eventually comes to encounter him. So, without further ado, I don't have a like goal for this video, so I say if it passed 40 likes, I will make a part 3 for you guys. But now I'm working on what if Deku mastered One for All, and what if Deku was a Saiyan part, the next parts to those stories. So look out for those this upcoming week. It should come out like Monday or Tuesday. I don't know yet. I'm still finishing up the script and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, you guys have a nice day, a nice night. I love all of you, and Black All Might signing out, and you already know. Plus Ultra.